Well, hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Angela Jordan Perry, and I am joining you with Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. Thank you for all of you who are joining me either live on Facebook or you're joining me live here on my YouTube channel. So we are on to our new subject for I don't know how long. We'll see, a few more series on this. And I'm excited, looking forward to this opportunity to share with you. Just as by way of introduction, my name is Angela Jordan Perry, and I am a homeschool mom of 8 children. And I am your host of Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. Now, the purpose of Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling is to touch base with your friend girl who is equally in the trenches with you homeschooling, speaking on subject matter that crosses homeschooling laws, all things that we deal with on a personal level or just where we are at in our homeschooling. And so this is anyone across anywhere in the world can really join us as we just discuss subjects regarding homeschooling. If you've been following me on YouTube and on my Facebook page, which I have is Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, then you know it's a plethora of conversations that we are joining and connecting with, okay? So I invite you to, join me here live on chat, join me here live on Facebook, share the link. Be sure to share this on your social media page. You just never know who may need to hear this conversation and who may be just going on and on in their brains in regards to this subject matter of special needs homeschooling, okay? Now, first of all, I'll let you know that I am not an expert on this, and I don't have to be. I'm a homeschool mom who have been homeschooling now for 17 years with 13 more years to go. And I am not an expert by any means in regards to special needs. I have a very special place, pun intended, special place in my heart as it relates to special needs children. And I have made it a point to connect and reach out to this community. Just a matter of maybe, 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I had it on my heart to start something where I could connect with more moms who are homeschooling special needs children who find themselves having to be at home because they can't get out with their children, or they just are not able to be mobile and get out and connect with other families and this and that and the other. And so what this I have heard is that oftentimes, depending on where your child is in special needs delays or learning developments or learning disabilities or medical issue, whatever it may be. So special needs, let's start off with special needs. What is that? It's a whole range of, words you can put to that. For me, special needs have been something that's been titled with my children as they were all 4 were adopted. Special needs can be connected to medical problems, issues that hinder that child and their development, their learning, and their ability to learn. Special needs can be actual learning disabilities or challenges. Special needs can also be even just a range of severity to not so severe, but then there's still a special needs. Special needs also can be something, it doesn't necessarily have to be documented, but moms have a way of knowing something is just not right here. So, special needs it's a plethora, it's very wide, okay? And oftentimes people will choose to homeschool their child who has that falls into that special needs category because of many reasons. And in my state, as a director of an association here for homeschooling legally in this state, I have many families who have decided to take the reins upon themselves, and homeschool their children who is in this sphere of special needs, okay? Because many reasons. One, the list goes on and on and on and on. There is bullying. There is just not giving their child the attention they need. when they're in public school settings, when a parent knows that their child is capable of learning even more than where maybe the ceiling has been hit for them in school, public school, where their child has such severity that they want to school them in the way that they can learn at their pace, in the way that they learn best. I mean, the reasons for homeschooling special needs children is just as huge as the reasons you can name for who are special needs or what special needs look like. And I talk to families all the time who contact me and say, I want to homeschool my child because they have some special needs. They have some learning challenges, some learning developments. And so the real truth about homeschooling your special needs is simple. You can do it. It can be done. Now, let me tell you that there are times where your child need those special hands-on professional help, which they can get. But oftentimes, because they need that professional help, some resources that you can't particularly give them, it doesn't mean that you can't homeschool them. And for so long, we have received this notion that if your child has some type of special way of being educated, it's best to leave this up to the professionals to do. Anyone ever heard that before, or have been felt or made to feel that way? You're not adequate to do it, so let a professional homeschool your special needs child. And sometimes that's great, and I don't want to take away from anyone who is in the special needs profession and they are doing a great job at that job. I don't want to take that away from them at all, because it is there, it is very possible. But then, just like anything, you have a grouping that does not do well by your child. And so I want to empower you and encourage you to know that you can do it. Now, will it be a learning curve? Of course. With homeschooling in general, there is a learning curve. And so over the next series of video tapings I like to do, is my plan, is to have some real moms or dads who homeschool children with special needs and hear from them. Now, for me personally, on my story is that, yes, we have 8 children, 4 we've birthed and 4 we've adopted. And automatically, if you have adopted children through the foster care system, I mean, we didn't foster, then adopt, we just adopted children who were, at some point in foster care. My children end up having, or any child who goes in that route, they end up having the title of special needs because they have been disenfranchised. Maybe a father's not in the picture. I mean, their parents are not there. So there's a lot of terminology that goes along with them having to have that title. So in essence, I have 4 children who are titled with special needs. 2 of my 4, when we first got them, they were in preschool. And they already had an IEP with special needs label. Now, I'm not sure if they were tested and therefore decided that they had special needs, or they saw that terminology somewhere on the paperwork and then they decided, you know what, we're going to put them in special needs classes. And so, being the mom that I am, and let me just stop again. If you're joining me just now, welcome, welcome, welcome. Give me your thumbs up and hearts here on Facebook. If something resonates with you, comment and give me some comments. Here on YouTube as well, I have the live chat open, so you are welcome to chat with me here also. And so please share, take a moment to share this information too, if you find it's going to be valuable over this course of these next recordings. So being the homeschool mom that I am, and all I know is to educate my children how to learn, because oftentimes it could be the way they need to learn. All children can learn. The pace may be different, but knowing how they learn is what makes the difference. Okay, that's my mama's heart belief. I don't have a professional with letters behind my name that says this and that about special needs. But what I know is that when I first met our children, and they were in preschool, they were 3 years old, and they already had an IEP and were labeled special needs, both of them. Let's see if I can do something here. I'm just curious. I'm going to pause. I just got distracted, and I don't think I can do what I'm thinking I can do. Okay. All right. So, but anyway, two of them had this title, and one of them or both of them were in special needs class in preschool. That just boggled my mind. I thought, preschool, how do you know what they are able to learn or not? They're learning to learn at this point. But anyway, when we met them, and I do this with all my children, all of my children, I always play this game. Let's see if they can remember. Can they do this? Can they do that? If I ask them this question, can they, and I teach them something, can they give it back to me? And I just do this, boom, 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 boom. And they don't even realize they're learning, and they don't even realize I'm testing them. And so I was doing this with my girl twin, they're twins. I was doing this with my girl twin, and she was asking me, answer me this, and she was remembering this, and I would say something, 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 and she could say it back to me. And that was going on and on and on. And I told my husband, I said, honey, I don't think she has a learning disability. She answered all of my hard questions. She answered everything I asked her. She gave it all back to me. I told her to write this, and she can write. She can hold her pencil, this and that and the other. And I thought, And so the same thing with my son, twin son, the same thing. I did the same thing. And I thought, this is weird, interesting. I would say, okay, what is this? What is this? I would teach it to them, and then they could tell it right back to me. So that was perplexed. And by the time we kept meeting and getting to know them, before we really decided that, yes, we were going to go ahead and adopt, I said, you know what? I'm going to homeschool them, and I think they can learn. So I went back to the preschool, and I let them know that I was going to withdraw them once everything was pretty much set that they were going to be with us. I withdrew them, and the preschool, first thing they said is, Mrs. Perry, we do not think that's a great idea. They need our services. And so at this time, they were getting all these in-home services, and the list went on and on and on and on and on. I said, nope, I'm a homeschool mom, and this is what I do. I teach children how to learn. This is what I do. No, Mrs. Perry, we strongly do not suggest that. We strongly encourage you to leave them here so that they can receive their services. I said, nope, don't want your services. I'm going to homeschool my kids. So after that long dissertation, they brought in some other people, some psychologists and whoever else it was, the principal of the preschool, et cetera, et cetera. They brought them all in, and I just thought, well, great to meet you all, but I'm homeschooling my kids. I went from there, and I just removed all these other services that they had lined up from them. And I said, I'm going to do it. I'm a 24/7 mom, and this is what I do. I teach my children, and I teach them how to learn. And so went through it and did all of that. I want you to know that within a year, so they were 3. So at 4, my kiddos learned how to read. They were writing in cursive. We were starting to write in cursive. They were able to start doing math, everything they could do. They could learn. We were on a regular track at 4, which I did with all my other children. At the age of 4, I started a formal school, if you will, books and all of that, and they could learn. And what I discovered is that for my girl, she had learned to act and become and form to the way that she was treated as a special needs student. My son, who was clearly outgoing and clearly quick and sharp and confident in himself, he was being placed in a mold that he wasn't made to be in. And by all words, I mean, he was trying to let them know this is not me, but he was there. He was forced to be in these classes, and he was forced to do that. And so what I want to tell you all, as I have met so many moms, I have an organization. It's called Upstate Special Needs Homeschooling. That's pertinent to my state. But globally, I have a group. It's called Home Educators, HESNA, HESNA, Home Educator Special Needs Alliance. And so this is for as a whole. People all over the country and world can join this group who have special needs. And you can find us on Facebook. And so the idea is to connect and converse and exchange resources for your homeschooling journey of homeschooling special needs children. Is it possible? The real truth that it is possible. Now, you do have some severe cases where parents have to work and they can't homeschool, or they don't have the confidence, or the child may be very physical, or very, very sickly, or, I mean, the list can go on, and which makes you feel like you cannot homeschool your child and be the advocate for them until the beginning to the end. I tell you this one story, and I look forward to, again, just sharing with you over the next few video tapings of the special needs and bringing on some special guests and that type of thing. But I had this mom who joined my association in my state this year, this homeschooling year. She is a great mom, is conversing, very loving, I could tell that for sure. But her son is blind. I mean, blind. And so because of that, she didn't feel like she was adequate enough to homeschool him at all. I mean, it wasn't even a thought. She just thought to put him in public school, and that's where he'll be because they have the services and the resources to help him to learn. Okay, this is what she told me. And so as I do always, I call my families and just check on them throughout the year to see how the process is going. And she was so elated, and she just told me on several times, she said, I am just so glad I did this. I'm so glad I decided to homeschool my son. I think maybe he's first or second grade, but he's blind. He might be a little older. But anyway, she did. She reported back to me that she taught him Braille. She taught him, the list went on, how to do math, how to do this, how to do that. Whereas when he was in school, he was limited to what he was learning or being exposed to in the way that he could learn because he was blind. And for this mama's heart, she said, no, my child can learn. He can learn. And I'm going to teach him how to learn in the way that he can learn. And she did. And I want to call her soon just to check and see how the rest of her year went. But she was so happy to report to me back, I guess, 3-4 months ago of his progress and his confidence. And now he's bold enough to do these things that whereas before he wasn't really bold and confident to do. So we're going to talk about this, and I welcome your thoughts, your woes, your concerns, your burdens, your heartbreak, your fears. Can I do it? Am I legal? Can I legally do this? Why should I do it? Okay, your back and forths. I'll let you know what my mom always told me, on many things. She's told me this. She says, Angela, on your hard journey, you're not the only one who's ever done it, and you're not going to be the last. And you're not the only one who's ever felt like you can't, but who ended up doing it. So we find a way to do what we can do because from our mama's heart, we are going to want the best for our kids. And special needs, homeschooling in general, most moms, most dads, we're going to be our advocate for our child, and we're going to make sure they get it. As a brown-skinned mom with my children who are brown-skinned, I'm going to make sure that they're educated to the fullest that they can, on the pace that they can be, so that they can be in the mix with the best of them. And as a mom who are homeschooling special needs children, I'm going to make sure that they are learning in the way that best suits them. And over the years, we have changed, these years that we've had them home with us, so that I can curtail it to their learning. That's what parents do who are advocates for their child. Whether they're special needs and they're in school, you're going to stay in their business. You're going to stay in the school. You're going to know what's going on. You're going to meet with these teachers. You're going to find out what can you do to help, right? And if you're able to be at home and homeschool your child with some learning challenges or special needs focuses, you're going to be their advocate. You're going to make sure they get what they need. You're going to find out what's going on and get the resources. You're going to pound on the doors to get the resources to find out. So anyway, this is what we're going to talk about over these next videotapings, special needs homeschooling. So join me here on Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling here on my YouTube channel, on Facebook Live. Welcome and thank you. If you're looking at this by replay, thank you for joining. And I look forward to this journey. I look forward to hearing what you want to talk about and what help you're needing, what resources maybe someone else can provide for you. So give me your comments. You can reach me at gg2homeschooling@gmail.com, gg2homeschooling@gmail.com. If you want to find out more about who I am, you can go to my website at uchunlimited.com. So until next time, this is Angela Jordan Perry. I am your host with Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, where I am your friend girl who is on the journey, rooting you onward in your homeschooling journey, whatever that may look like and wherever you may be in the world. So thank you for joining me and have a great, great, great time until we connect again. Take care. Bye-bye.